Hey guys, thanks for joining the channel. This is going to be our first video, so to give you a little background on our story here, we were able to purchase this farm back in 2020, just honestly by kind of falling in our lap. We got lucky. This was a farm that I have hunted for the last 7 or 8 years before that, so now it's 2024 and we're just kind of getting time to do a lot of the improvements and stuff that we've wanted to do on it. So this farm, we bought it from the owners that have owned it since the 60s, and they just, didn't really do anything with it. So they bought it with the purpose of running dairy cows on it, and then life happened in their personal situation that I won't get into, and long story short, it never happened. So this farm has sat for all these years without ever having anything done to it other than the row crop, what crops were on it, which out of our 350 acres, we got about 60 acres of row crop that the farmer does corn and beans on. But the rest is just a lot of, as you can see, just a lot of land. We're on a pipeline right now. We got a pipeline that runs through us. But we're deer hunters is what we really are. We like taking our kids out, going deer hunting, but we also, just as much as that, enjoy the whole process of getting stuff ready, improving the habitat for the wildlife, just getting out and enjoying the outdoors as a general. We got 3 kids, from youngest to 6 and oldest to 16, so we try to get them out in the woods and stuff as much as possible, just because it's not something that a lot of kids nowadays do. They're stuck behind electronics and stuff. So that's the whole point of this channel, is just to kind of show you what we're doing. Maybe we can help you with ideas on habitat improvement stuff along the way, but just really take you along on what we do around here. And as you can see, I decided to start videoing this just because I wanted to have it to look at later, and come back and all the changes. But this whole area back here, I just cleared this about 1 acre now, but it was solid woods, which I'll try to put a picture of, just like the rest of the woods up behind us. Just solid timber, and it's a lot of thorn trees and just not really great trees for habitats, just stuff that's been overtaken for years without much improvement done to it. So we have got some machines and equipment, and we're just trying to maintain it ourselves and try to make it the best that it can be for our family to enjoy. So long story short, if you're into outdoor stuff, working with equipment, like here's our Kubota KX057-5, just a mini excavator, John Deere skid steer. We just do a lot of stuff, from land clearing, putting in culverts, just anything that we can do to improve our property. We're going to kind of try to bring you guys with us along and show you what we're doing, and just kind of the behind the scenes of all of it. We probably, we're hunters, but we probably won't get into too much of the hunting video, just because honestly that's the time I try to enjoy with my kids. I always have my kids with me doing it, so we may bring some, but it's going to be more of the off season, all the work that's never ends into doing this. It's January 1st 2024, and what really got me motivated into doing this and really improving the property anymore, because we own a business, so we're super busy, which is why I've owned this place for 3 years now, and just really now getting a little bit of time to start doing some of this stuff. As the company grows, we're able to do, have a little bit of free time. When you start a company, we started our company in 2014. I didn't do nothing but work for the last 7 or 8 years building up a business, and now I get not a lot of time off, but I get some weekends off and some evenings where I can do some stuff and enjoy it. So we're going to be doing a lot of that. If you guys like that stuff, please like and subscribe. We'd love to have you join us along the way, and we can learn stuff from you. I mean, I've run equipment and stuff, but I'm by no way an expert. I'm just a self-taught guy doing it myself. So, you know, there's equipment operators and stuff out there probably watching this that can give me tips, and I'm totally open for that. You know, I'm not a contractor. I'm just doing all this stuff on my own land. So you guys definitely like and subscribe. Join us. We're going to get started today. I just wanted to start the video, as this is our first video, is just kind of an overall intro into what we got here. And I'll get into more backstory and stuff in different videos as we go, but I don't want to bore you with all that at once. We'll just kind of touch on that as we go. But today I took the excavator and got all these trees knocked over and cleaned out. So now we just got to pull them off to the side. Generally speaking, we'd put them all in a pile and burn them. But with the pipeline being right there that runs through this property, they frown upon a fire that close to their pipeline, even though it's really not a problem. They didn't say we can't, but they frown upon it. So I'm just not going to ruffle any feathers, and I'm just going to stack it as best as I can to the side and put it in piles where it doesn't affect anything and doesn't look too bad, and clear it out that way here. And it's January. Hopefully in the next month we can get some lime. You know, this is soil that has been under woods for ever, you know, since the 60s at least, when it started growing back up. I don't know what it was like before that, but since the 60s at least, it's been this underbrush. Literally all this open was just like how this looks all the way back across here. So it's going to need a lot of lime and fertilizer. Our plan is to turn this into a food plot. My 6-year-old just got into hunting this year, shot his first deer, so he's super intrigued, which makes me want to make it the best hunting property we can, which is why we're doing a lot of this stuff as well, so we can enjoy it. But as you can see here, give me 1 second, got the redneck hunting blind right there. So we're trying to put this food plot out here where the kid just sees more deer and stays more interested. You know, this farm has a lot of deer and a lot of wildlife on it, but just where he stays interested. You know, hunting's hunting. Sometimes you go out and don't see anything. So at 6, I want it to be the best hunting experience he can have, where he sees the most deer. So we're going to put in a acre food plot here and put in many others across the property as well, but this is just kind of the first one. So we're going to stop rambling, quit boring you with all that stuff, and we're going to get on the Kubota mini excavator here, and we'll take you along. We'll clean up a little bit of this stuff. All right guys, so let's get started here and try to get a little bit of this stuff done. So this Kubota we just got about a month ago, and you know, I've ran skid steers a lot, just around farm stuff, nothing commercial or whatever like that. But I've ran some excavators just here or there. I bet I don't have 15 hours on an excavator before I bought this one to do this type of work that we're talking about here. And since I bought it literally a month ago today, I think, we've got 51 hours on it already. So as you can tell, we've done quite a bit of work already, and I wish I would have thought about doing these videos before so I could bring you along with all that, but yeah, better late than never, I guess. So we're gonna start now and go from there. The next video, you know, probably later this week, I will do, I get people asking all the time. One of my neighbors actually asked about the Kubota and how I liked it so far and stuff like that. So I'll do a video of our equipment overview and things like that, just to kind of give you some ideas too, for those looking into mini excavators and stuff, what I like and what I don't like about certain things about it. And all honesty, so far there's really nothing that I don't like about it. It's been a very solid machine and done everything I wanted to. So it's a 13,000 pound machine, so it's the biggest, not the biggest, but I didn't want something that I couldn't haul. So I got a 2500 pickup, so I wanted to be able to put it on a trailer and move it to a different place or different farm or whatever if I wanted to. And if you went anything bigger, it just got hard to do that. So that's why I went with the 57. It's 13,000 pounds, so it's heavy, but it's still movable without having too much issue. So that's why we went there. And we got the skid steer too, and we use it a ton for cleanup stuff, but they're just, you know, certain things that a excavator does way better than what a skid steer does, you know, as far as picking trees and digging culvert pipes and stuff. It's just kind of a, you have to almost have both of them to do a lot of projects. So my plan is probably, well, I'll tell you what my short-term plan was. When I first bought this machine a month ago, I told my wife, which you know how that goes, and bargaining room, I was like, well, I'm gonna keep it long enough to do the projects we need done, and then I'll probably get rid of it. And then honestly, the more we've had it, just you realize how much stuff you can do with them. So I don't know if this excavator is going to be going anywhere for the foreseeable future anyways, but we'll see. You know, with 350 acres, we got a ton of projects that we can do, and it'll be quite a while before I could even do that. You know, I mean, we'd like to put a pond in here at some time. We got streams and stuff, and we're up in the, you know, rolling hill country, so it's a beautiful terrain, but we don't really, our neighbor's got a nice pond, but we would like to have our own pond where the kids can fish, which the neighbors let them fish, but you know, it's not ours. So at some point we'd like to do a, not a huge pond by any means, but a little pond just big enough where we can have bluegill fishing or whatever for the kids and grandkids down the road. This farm is just one of those that we never want to get rid of. We want to pass it on to our kids and grandkids. So we just figure the more stuff we can do now, the better it's making it for them. And honestly, I mean, I enjoy this type of stuff. It gives me, you know, when you run a business every day, all day, and deal with the stress, it's kind of nice just to come out here and, you know, get on the excavator. You have almost zero stress, and you feel like a kid playing with a Tonka truck or something. You know, it's just kind of a cool deal for me, and just a good stress relief. And the older I get, you know, I've grown up hunting. I love hunting and the outdoors, and I still do it often, but the prep work and the stuff like this is just as fun to me as the actual hunting part. You know, it's all part of the experience. And you know, especially this year, after seeing my youngest boy shoot his first deer and how much joy that brought him, it's just it's a really cool thing that I want to keep going here. So this plot here will end up being about an acre, and some of this stuff still, that's what I'm going through here, trying to pick what I can break off easily to make trails through here to get the other stuff. Some of them I will have to come back through here with a chainsaw and cut a time or two. Like, for instance, some of these, you know, those trees right in there, they're pretty big trees. So I'm not going to be able to easily drag them and stack them. So I'm just going to go get the smaller stuff that I can done and get it overall clean, and then we can come through here with the chainsaw and cut the pieces that we need cut so we can get it all cleaned up here. This one here is stuck under the whole log of stuff, so it's going to be a stubborn one. But and this dirt, surprisingly, when I started clearing it, I figured, you know, we got a lot of clay around here and rockier soil, but I got lucky on the area that I picked for this particular food plot and clearing. It's got really good soil in it, so I don't think it's going to take as much work as what I originally thought. So hopefully we'll be able to get a decent stand of, you know, some type of, even if it's clover or something this year, to start building the soil up. And then this little plot here, we'll go over there here in a second. I left literally one tree is all I left, and it's a little smaller cedar tree right in the middle. And for those of you guys that are deer hunters, the deer will come out and make scrapes and rubs on it. It's actually a tree that already had scrapes and rubs on it before, so we just left it there, and it's about 30 yards from the blind, so it'll make a good opportunity to be a area for the deer to come close enough to the blind for Jake, which is our youngest boy, where he's not shooting too far and stuff like that. But we're gonna dig a little, not pond, but literally what I would call a water hole over there, and that's just like I said, we don't have a lot of natural water other than what's in the bottom of the creeks and stuff around here, but the deer tend to not like that as well, like the running water. They don't tend to like it, so we're just trying to get a little water hole there, just where, and putting multiple across the property, just where taking better care of the wildlife. Like I said, for us, it's not just the hunting experience. You know, we like hunting, but we like watching them and stuff like that as much as we do anything. So we try to build a good, healthy herd and not just take from it. So that's why a lot of the food plots come in. We do a lot of mineral stuff just to take care of them. So that's that here. I'll shut up for a second and just let you guys kind of ride along with me here for a second, or what we're doing. Like I said, I'm just trying to get a bunch of these trees cleaned out so they can be out of the way here and get the natural sunlight down here. And we'll have to take the grapple bucket or something on the skid steer and go through here and pick up, you know, there's a few rocks and different things through here, and pick up all the little twigs that just doesn't make sense to come through here with the excavator and pick up every tiny little stick, because you'd be here for a decade doing that. Whereas compared to the grapple bucket on the skid steer, you can kind of rake it over while you're leveling it all out at the same time, and it kind of works. I will mention is, for those of you that may be looking to get a mini excavator and do this type of work on your own property and stuff, if you're not familiar with them, definitely don't let it hinder you buying one. Like I said, I'm not good by any means. I can do enough to get myself going and get stuff done, but I'm in no way, shape, or form a great operator or anything like that. But don't let not running one steer you away from doing it, because they're pretty straightforward to run, and it just takes the seat time to get good at it. So you're definitely, even if you have to go rent one, you know, they're not super hard. But the moral of the story is, if you get one, whether you buy one or rent one or whatever you do, for this type of work, the thumb, which is what on the bucket, what comes down and closes it so I can grab the trees and stuff, a thumb is a non-negotiable option. For this type of work, you need the thumb. I mean, you could probably get by and halfway do it without it, but if you're doing this type of stuff, it's almost a mandatory thing. It'll make your life way easier. And on a side note about the thumb, like I said, this is a Kubota. I bought it brand new. It's a 2023. Main reason I bought brand new is because, not necessarily because I needed a new one, but with the prices of used ones currently, I wasn't saving very much money at all going to a used one and then not knowing what you're getting and stuff like that out of a used one. It wasn't worth the $5,000 savings to me long term, knowing that I probably got at least 1,000 hours or more of work just that's already planned in my head, let alone what will come up after keep going. You know how your list never ends. So I just didn't want to mess with that. Plus the financing options through Kubota is one of the best financing options. You know, I'm a John Deere guy. I got John Deere tractor, and the skid steer's a John Deere, and I've had great luck with them. But the financing options through John Deere just weren't very good at all. I mean, they were, it's like 7% or something on commercial equipment. And even though this isn't used commercial, any of the construction equipment, I guess is what I should say. Whereas Kubota has 0% for 36 months, or you can get like 1 or 2% for, I think, I don't know, 60 or 72 months, something like that. So it makes it where a guy can afford to run one and do stuff. And even if it's, like I said, I'll probably end up keeping it just because how useful it's been just in the short time already. But the way these machines and all equipment, if you take care of them, they hold their value so well that it's not like you're losing all that money. I mean, like I said, used ones were within $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 of what I paid for a new one, and those were machines with 1,000 hours on them. So in the long run, to me, it's way cheaper and more convenient than renting one. Because to me, like, I never know. Like, today's New Year's Day, so obviously I'm off. But I may get to work on something 2 or 3 times a week, 1 week, and then I may not be able to do for a couple weeks, you know. So trying to rent one and time it around and stuff just didn't make sense. So definitely take that in consideration when you're looking. But like I said, if you only got one little project to do, obviously you don't want to go buy one. But if you got something that you know you have multiple things to do, it definitely can kind of make sense sometimes. So a lot of this stuff, like I said, I could probably do with a grapple bucket, but I'd like to be able to stack. I don't want the whole edge of this to be just kind of pushed. So I got this one like 25-yard section right now that we're stacking stuff onto, and then one section, I don't know if you can see it over on that side of the plot over there, that's just a one big pile, and then the rest of it stays open. You guys have any questions or anything, or videos you'd like to see, or something that you've seen in the background of the video that I haven't spoke of or something, definitely leave it in the comment section below. You know, during these videos, like I said, this is kind of like my recreation time in a way. I just kind of get in a trance and it's stress-free. So if I don't think about something that you want to hear about or want a video on or something, definitely leave that in the comments, and I'll try to get to all of them. Like I said, this isn't my job by any means. This is just our own property, but I definitely enjoy it, and we do some YouTube stuff already for our business, which I actually really enjoy the YouTube stuff for our business, but it doesn't bring me the same stress relief just because it's still business. Whereas here I can do what I like, and brings me some downtime, but also do the video stuff that I've just kind of honestly fell in love with doing. It's just kind of a cool thing to be able to look back in time, you know, like from our business standpoint. I look back what we were doing a year ago, and if I didn't have video of it, I'm like, oh, I don't really know, you know, it doesn't strike you. Whereas with video, you can look back exactly what you're doing, and it's just kind of cool to look back on how far you've come and kind of what you've done. So I'm kind of looking at this channel as the same as something in all the years from now when maybe I'm no longer here, my kids can look back and like, yeah, that's our farm, and that's, you know, showing their grandkids this field that they may be hunting on in 40 years from now, and have a video of actually doing it is just kind of cool to me. It's like telling your life story and having a record of it, so to speak. So and as you can see, this goes fairly quick. It don't take a ton of time per se. What really takes time is like all this little stuff like this. I mean, you can come through here and pick all that up in little piles with the excavator, but it's just, you know, for me anyways, being a novice per se, it just takes a lot of time, and I can conserve my time way better by coming back with the grapple bucket and cleaning up all that little stuff. Excavators are great for a lot of things, but as you can see, burning speed as far as getting back and forth is not one of the strong points of an excavator, which is not what they're made for, you know. So just know that as well. When I bought the farm, like I said, I just got this excavator, but I got good advice from our neighbor, which is a farmer, has all sorts of equipment, big equipment, you know, bulldozers and stuff that's way out of the realm of what I need. But he's got the huge excavators and everything. And when I first bought the farm, the first thing I was gonna buy is an excavator, just because I've seen videos like this and what people can do with them. But he talked me into a skid steer first, just because of the versatility of them. As far as when we bought this place, we were building our house, so doing the dirt work for my house and different things, a skid steer just made sense faster than a excavator. So I bought that, and then now it's paid for, so now we got on to the next piece and just kind of keep piecing things together where we can do all this ourselves. Because I've in the past had him do some little stuff, you know, and it's expensive to have somebody come do it. It's not that any of this is hard, it's just a time thing. I mean, like I said, I've only had this excavator a month, and I'm trying to get a lot of this stuff done during the winter, just because it's easier to see, like through the woods and stuff, for what we're doing now, where you can see what you're doing. But you know, time adds up quickly. So I've had him do some stuff, but it doesn't make sense, and I can't, being as it's just recreational stuff, I'm not making money off of anything. It's hard to justify paying somebody a lot of money, at least with a piece of machinery. It's something that I have long term to do multiple other projects, and then I can sell the machinery if I want or choose at that point. You know, it's just kind of, you're open to all your options then, compared to stuck with one thing or the other. The thumb on this one is the Kubota thumb. Looking back on it, if I'd known what I know now a month ago, I probably would have, because when you buy the excavator, most of them don't have the thumb on it. It's an add-on to it, and they're not crazy expensive. I think it's $2,000 or something, but it's definitely a must for what I'm doing. But long story short, looking back on it, if you look at the thumb there holding the material that's in the bucket right now, that's a 24-inch bucket, and that thumb's like 8 inches wide or something. So they have different places, not Kubota, just aftermarket stuff that you can put on any excavator. Thumbs that in hindsight would have been way better, just because they're wider, and they, like, more of the small stuff I could grab more easily compared to the narrow thumb on this one is more geared to just straight, you know, bigger trees and stuff, which is fine, like I said, because we got the skid steer, but it would have cost me the same amount of money to get one that was a more versatile option per se. So just keep that in mind as well. I'm not, like I said, I'm not familiar with all the other excavator brands out there and what their thumbs and stuff look like, but if you're in the market for an excavator, definitely keep that in mind if you're buying a thumb. Just to kind of watch that and see if a aftermarket one may be a better viable option for you. So as you can see though, it goes fairly quick, pulling big trees like that. Some of those we're gonna have to cut up. So I'll probably get off here for today, but I just wanted to do our first video for the channel and kind of get it rolling. And over the next 3 or 4 weeks, I will catch you guys up on all the current projects that are going on. So we're also currently making a quote-unquote road trail down the property line so that we got more access to our property. Our neighbors let us use their property to access, but just when it's muddy or something like that, I hate going through and making ruts and stuff through another person's property. So they're gracious enough to allow us to do it, and they're awesome neighbors, but I just don't want to overstay our welcome on that per se. So we're trying to make roads where we can get through the whole property. So like I said, some of this property, when we first got it, you couldn't even get back there without going through the neighbors. You couldn't, unless you're walking, but like on a four-wheeler or equipment or whatever, you couldn't get anywhere. So being able to get places, and especially with the equipment, get equipment back there so that we can do the food plots or even just the side-by-side to go riding with the kids and stuff. We got those roads going. So we'll catch you up on the different stuff, but thank you guys for joining us. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It'd mean a lot to us. We'll have a ton of videos. I'm sure wife and kids will be on some of them, and just kind of take you along with us on all these projects we got going on, and also give you some reviews on different stuff as well. Like I said, we got this excavator, John Deere tractor, the skid steer. We just got a lot of different stuff that it takes to do this type of work and improvements yourself. So we'll be doing a lot of reviews on that stuff too, so that you guys can make better decisions and be informed on your buying experience. So anyways, I'll quit rambling. Thank you guys for joining us today. I'm gonna try to have a video every week. For the first couple weeks, it may be more than that, just because, like I said, I want to catch you guys up on a lot of what's going on. That way, when I start a new project from here on out, you guys get to see it all. But right now, we're just kind of got a lot of random stuff going, so I'll probably have more than that for the first little bit, but then we're gonna shoot for once a week type of thing throughout the year here, and we'll keep you guys informed. So thank you guys. Have a great new year. If you guys need anything, let us know. Please like and subscribe and leave the comments below. Have a great day.